Hello, I'm Anna Tapper, and welcome to our session on Subitising. This is part of the Development of Early Maths series. After Clement's influential publication in 1999, teachers have been encouraged to attend to the development of learners' conceptual subitising. Sayers, Andrews and Boystrup found that conceptual subitising played an important role in the overall development of number sense, and there have been a number of studies which show that an ability to subitise is a powerful tool in children's general understanding of number. And it's been linked positively to, among other things, counting, cardinality, decomposition and partitioning of number, commutativity of addition, and part-whole knowledge. Importantly, 3 separate studies indicated that poor performance in both perceptual and conceptual subitising may be linked to later mathematical difficulties, particularly in arithmetic. So, what is subitising? Well, the word subitise comes from the Latin, meaning to arrive suddenly. Or for those Italian speakers, you might say subito, which means straight away. It's a set of numbers that can be recognised and named without the need for counting. It begins in infancy with the sensitivity to number. Then children learn to recognise very small numbers. Later, they learn to do it quickly, and they can perceptually subitise up to 5. Another qualitative progression is their ability to see several groups and combine them quickly into one quantity. This is conceptual subitising. So if we look at the image on the left-hand side, then children should be able, if they're perceptually subitising, they should be able to see that that's instantly recognisable as 4. The image on the right-hand side is there are too many to perceptually subitise, so they're going to need to split it into 2 different parts, or perhaps more than that. So they might see 5 and 5, or they might see 4, 3 and 3, or they might see 4 lots of 2, 1 and 1. The ability to recognise the fiveness of 5 has been developed from a very early age, even if you couldn't name it. If we look at this pattern on the right, you'll instantly know that there are more on the right than on the left, and you've used pattern spotting to do it. Subitising is such an important skill, it leads to many other developments in maths too. So if I count these monkeys here, and I count them 1, 2, 3, 4, I know that I only say the number 2 once. However, there are 2 2s in 4. I could also see that there's a 3 and a 1, but I may also see it as 4 1s. So rather than asking how many, ask the children, what do you see and how do you see it? Sometimes giving a structure to numbers supports them with their subitising, but we want to develop their skills in seeing number in lots of different ways. You can get out and about to do this, and you can look at the Number Talks website for images of collections, or ask children to take their own images for discussion as part of the Number Talks. At the end of this session, I'll show you where the Number Talks website is. Development of number sense is crucial for further development of mathematical skill, and subitising is at the heart of this. So although subitising is often associated with dice patterns and showing children quick images and asking them how many they see, that's one way of developing subitising. There's so much more than this, and Number Talks with interesting images are a great alternative for developing conceptual subitising. We can engage young children by showing an image and asking, what numbers can you see hidden inside this number? So both of these images represent 7, but they may see them in very different ways, depending on the structure of the image. They may reply, I see 4 and 3, or I see 6 and 1, or 2 and 2 and 2 and 1. This is an inclusive activity with many right answers and the opportunity to discover that others see the same thing differently. Children also learn about the different combinations which can make the same number. An alternative is to use giant magnetic buttons on a tray, which you turn over to secretly rearrange and show different combinations of the same number. We're going to watch a clip from an American classroom to show you how you could develop this within your own setting.
My name is Stephanie Latimer, and today's lesson is Quick Images with my kindergartners. Quick Images is a very fast activity to show different combinations of numbers. And today's lesson was working on combinations to 8. Today I have 3 images for you, and I'm going to show them to you really quickly. You're going to give me a thumb right here if you have an idea how many you saw, and then I might ask you how you saw it. Are you ready? Here we go. The first time I show one of the images, I usually do about 3 seconds. A lot of my kids will count, and I don't want them to really count. I want them to see groups. I'm looking for thumbs. JT?
8.
8. Looking for thumbs. Isaiah?
8.
Devin?
8.
Michelle?
8.
Cameron?
8.
Dariana?
8.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of 8s. I'm going to show you again, and it's okay if you need to revise your answer or if you have the same answer. Are you ready? Okay, so one more time. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I was showing images up on the screen from the document camera, and that just was too much for them. Magnets on the 10 frame on a whiteboard. That was the easiest for me. Courtney.
8.
8. Jaden.
8.
Mari.
7.
7. Laura Jean.
8.
8. Michelle.
8.
So you saw 8. Can you tell me how you saw 8? I'm going to put it up again so you can see it.
There's 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom.
So you said there's 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Can someone tell me what Michelle just said? Courtney, what did Michelle just say?
It said 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom.
5 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Did anyone else see it that way? Can you do this if you saw 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom? Okay, we're going to do another one. Are you ready for it?
How can be 8?
You're right, Cavell. Did you hear him?
Yes.
He said it's still going to be 8. So now you know how many it is, right?
Yeah.
How many is it going to be? 8.
8.
It's going to be 8. So I don't want to know anymore how many there are. I want to know how you see them. Are you ready? Okay. So you're not telling me how many anymore. You're telling me how you saw them. Cavell, can you tell me how you saw them?
I saw 2 on the bottom and 1 at the top and 4 right there and 1 right there.
Okay, so you're saying 2 and 1 and then 4 and 1. Okay, someone see it a different way? Anyone see it a different way? Jalen, can you tell me how you saw it?
There's 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top.
Oh, so you're looking at the bottom here like this and the top here like this. Can someone tell me what Jalen just said? Laura Jean, what did he say?
He just said that there's 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom.
4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Anyone else see it that way? But I think the most valuable piece this year for my kids has been just seeing combinations, that numbers can be in so many different kinds of combinations. So we started with 5 and just seeing, okay, there's 5, so 5 and 0. Or looking at it in another combination, well, there's 4 and 1, or 1 and 4. And they're really fluent with understanding that 4 and 1 can be 5, 1 and 4 can be 5, just that 5 is made up of all of these numbers. But I think I see some hands of a different way. Isaiah, did you see it a different way?
I counted by 2s.
Oh, you counted by 2s. Can you come up and do that for me real quick so we know what you mean?
Like 2, 4, 6, 8.
Well, that's a quick way to count. I like that. Okay. Something that my class has been working on specifically is just having conversations around math. Augustine, ooh, I see a lot of people doing this. You saw it the same way. Caleb, can you tell me? So instead of just giving an answer, which I've told my kids a lot, like I don't want to know your answer. I want to know how you figured it out or how you know.
There's 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom. And that's the same way as the first one, but there's 5 on right there and there's 1, 2, 3 right there.
So you're saying this is the same as the first image that we looked at. 5 and 3, 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Ooh, I like how you made that connection. Nice job. To wrap up quick images, I always just kind of state what the purpose was for the day. So today the purpose was different combinations to 8. So how many are here again? 8. And we saw 8 today in a lot of different ways. We saw 8 like 5 and 3, and we saw 8. Isaiah counted 2, 4, 6, 8. Lots of 2s, and we saw 8, 4, and 4. So we saw 8 lots of different ways today. Nice job.
The fingers are a great way to develop subitizing as well, and you can work on the model of grow it, show it, throw it. So when you ask children to show a number, so perhaps 4, if they're growing it, they might want to hide it. They might want to count 1, 2, 3, 4. If they're not quite sure, they might slowly be bringing it up and then change their mind. So they're showing 4. That's your grow it. When they're ready, you can say, I want you to show it. So show, I always think it means that they show it to themselves first so they can check. They check that they've got the right amount and then they show it to you. The development from this is to throw it. So when they're really strong and subitizing, if I want you to throw it to me, throw me 4, straight away I show you 4 like that. Fingers are fantastic tools to use in developing mathematical understanding. Please don't shy away from them. And I know that you may have heard colleagues in later years in the school saying, oh, they're still counting on their fingers. There's lots of evidence to show that use of fingers in a clever way to develop number sense is really important for children. I also thought I'd take you outside to have a little look at the opportunities for you to support children to subitize in the outside environment. So as I'm currently not able to get into schools, I thought I'd show you something in my own garden. So let's go and have a look. So I thought I'd bring you outside for a number walk, and given that I can't get into early years classrooms at the moment because of the situation, I'm using my garden, so please excuse the mess. And here I've come across 7 plant pots with poppies growing in them. So what I might say to children is, what do you see and how do you see it? And perhaps they'll see it as 3 and 2 and 2, perhaps they'll see 4 and 3, perhaps they'll see 2, 2, 2 and 1. But it's exploring that developing understanding of number and how we can see different numbers within a whole amount. Some other things that you could use, so there's shells over here which you could use the same thing. It's really just about noticing arrangements of number that are around the children in their everyday environment. We all know how much children love creatures. I've found some ladybirds nestled into a tree here, so what I might say is, what do you see and how do you see it? They might see 2 ladybirds, but they may also look at the number of spots on the ladybirds and explore that a bit further. How do you see those numbers? This idea of number walks doesn't have to be a special big mathematical thing. It can just be something where you may ask a question, how did you see that number, as part of the normal play and discovery that the children are doing outside. So please don't feel that it has to be a structured mathematical time. It's just being aware of how we can ask those questions to develop conceptual and perceptual subitizing in our work with children. So finally, I'd like to share a couple of websites with you. This one is the one I was talking about that shows all of the different images that you can use for number talks. So it's ntimages.weebly.com. And if you click onto photos, at the top you can filter the photos that you want. So you might go for small quantities and then scroll down and just choose one that's interesting. I think there's so many different photos here that are really lovely to use with children. And just that idea of, what do you notice? What do you wonder? How many? How did you count it? How do you know? What numbers do you see inside this number? So all those rich mathematical questions that support children's development of number sense, and particularly thinking about subitizing today. There's lots of different, so you've also got dots ones that you can look at as well, but personally I really like the images that are in the sort of real world setting. I think some of them are really enticing for children and adults as well. I also wanted to show you some resources on Enrich. So that's enrich.maths.org. If you go to early years, and then you can see that they have a section on number talk. So I will go to early years activities, number, and then here are the number talks. There's lots of different activities here, really nice things, really worth having a good look through and seeing if there's something you could introduce to your setting. But here are the number talks ones, and it just gives you some ideas of questions you can ask the children, and ways in which you could ask them to record it if that's something that you wanted to do. And it shows you the focus of the session as well. Thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.